I've been getting comments on mostly my monthly budget video about my grocery spend each month. So I thought I'd do a quick, well, it's not very quick actually, video about how I save money on groceries and a few household items, but mostly just groceries. And I don't think any of it's too earth-shattering, but it's things I do that have served me well through the years. I've always been pretty frugal, and a lot of the things I had to really stop and think, is that a big deal? I guess some of it is. It's just old hat to me. I just love to save money. I basically don't like to waste money. And so I'll just give you a few of the ways that I keep my monthly grocery budget pretty low. And at the end, I'll remind you again, because I mentioned this in my monthly budget video, about how much I spend, approximately. It varies. So let's get started. Okay, here are a few quick tips that you've probably heard before, but they work, so I'm going to repeat them here. If you jot down a few dishes you want to cook, basically. Some people call it a meal plan or menu planning. I just decide, what do I want to eat, for the next week, and go look in the kitchen, see if I have everything, and if I don't, I jot down the ingredients I need. Or if it's something new or something elaborate like lasagna, you might need to buy lasagna noodles or ricotta cheese or whatever. So you jot down on a sheet of paper, it's your grocery list, the ingredients you need to buy. It's really simple. And I have so much stuff on hand that I don't generally, I might do that for one item for a week, but I don't have special things I'm going to make each week, 2 or 3 of them anyway, maybe one. But I tend to just eat the same things, and it's fine with me. I don't eat the same things, but it's a variation. And I just buy those foods, so I already have them on hand. And that works for me. You have to do what works for you. So by writing down the items you want to get, and I like to use the grocery store apps to see what's on sale and buy things on sale. I'll talk about that again a little bit later. But it saves so much money. They put things on sale to get you in the store. And then they want you to buy all their other stuff that isn't on sale. I don't do that very often. I just buy what's on sale, and I might get a few other things, but sometimes I don't, and that's okay. They can't make you buy something extra. But jot down a list before you go to the store and take it with you. Put it in your purse or in your pocket, wherever you can find it once you're in the store. And I use the app on my phone to remind me of different things. One store I go to offers a free item every once in a while on the weekend. I'll get an email and it'll say, congratulations, here's your free item, blah, blah, blah. You have till close of business Monday to use it. And it depends on what it is if I go to get it. And oftentimes they run out and then you don't get it. So I hate those. I like it when they do it and it's something I want, and they have plenty of them to where I can actually get it. But there's another store that offers a free item. It's for the whole month. It's like, here's your free item. You have a month to come in and buy it, and then you'll get it free. And they don't run out. It's like a best customer deal or something like that. And I get every one of those that I can. Sometimes it's a bag of chips, some things I don't need, but if it's free, I'm going to get it. Even if I don't use it, I'll give it away. And this is something I've always done, is buy store brands if they're cheaper. If a name brand is the same price or cheaper, I'll buy the name brand. But oftentimes when things aren't on sale, the store brand is a better price, and I'll just go ahead and buy those. It's fine. I am not loyal to different brands of things. I can't think of anything that I have to buy that brand. I'm not a good shopper as far as, I love to go shopping and, buy things. Like, no, I buy things because I need them, because I have to eat. And you may be different. You may love, Jif peanut butter or, Heinz ketchup. I don't know. I don't care. It's fine. Any of that stuff. I don't buy Jif or Skippy. I buy natural peanut butter that doesn't have sugar added. So I guess I'm kind of picky about that. But I don't care what brand it is. It's just so it doesn't have the added sugar. I don't need it. I don't want it. And I don't eat that much peanut butter, but I figured just buy to me, the good stuff. And the ones with sugar, they don't taste as good to me. So there's something, I guess, that I like to eat that may be weird to some people, but, Another thing I cook sometimes is a noodle dish. And this doesn't look that appealing, but it's delicious. It's kind of a spicy Asian noodles. I used soba buckwheat noodles, which are kind of a splurge for me because they're more expensive, but they have a really nice taste. And I put some mushrooms, and I just got a bag of the shredded cabbage, and it has carrots in it too. So I used probably 3 pounds of vegetables, and you can hardly see them in there. And I also put some fresh mushrooms in and cooked those, and some green onions. So it has vegetables and noodles, and then I made a sauce with just some soy sauce, fish sauce, sesame oil. I'm trying to think. It was very simple. Some sugar, garlic, and I poured that over. I just cooked the noodles by themselves in water, drained them, set them aside. Then I put sesame oil in a pan, and I cooked the vegetables. And you can use whatever you want. So you cook those until they're not raw, but you don't cook them to death, which I love. I like vegetables that still have some color and flavor to them, because if you cook them too much, you don't know what you're eating. So then when the vegetables are cooked, you add the noodles back in, and you pour this sauce over it. And you can find a recipe online. This isn't some secret recipe or anything. I found it online. So I had it for dinner last night. I'm going to have it for lunch today. And there's one more meal in the fridge, and I'll have that probably tomorrow. I don't get tired of leftovers. That's a good thing too when you're trying to save money. I love leftovers. It's easy. I've already cooked it. All you have to do is, I could eat this cold if I wanted, but you either eat it cold or you can heat it up real quickly and you're ready to go. And I enjoy convenience like that. That works really well. Another thing I bought recently on sale at the grocery store, and this was a definite loss leader, an item that they put on a very sharp or a large discount, hoping you'll come in, buy that, and buy some of their regularly priced items. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I generally buy these things. They are frozen burritos. And I got some beef and bean, red hot beef, and bean and cheese. So I got about 9 or 10 of these. I think I could have gotten 12, but I just kind of stopped. And I had room in my freezer, or I wouldn't have bought them. But I tend to, when I have them on hand, I'll eat maybe 2 a week. And that's okay. For lunch, it's a quick, easy lunch. I don't want to eat those too often because they're not that good. I would get sick of them, and I wouldn't ever want to eat another one. So like I said, if I have about 2 of them a week, stagger it, that's okay. And it's a quick, easy, cheap meal. And I'll have maybe a salad with it or whatever. But, it's filling, gets the job done, and for 37 cents, 2 thumbs up. Another thing I do in the kitchen is to make enough of something if I'm going to cook, which I don't cook a lot. I probably cook a couple times a week. But I like simple things. I love rice and beans. That is one of my big go-to meals. I make rice and beans probably once a week or once every week and a half. I love it. It's very satisfying. It fills me up. I don't eat a lot of meat. And it's just tasty. I can put cheese on it, melt cheese on top. I could put the beans in a tortilla and then have rice on the side. I can make a little salad of tomato and avocado to go with it. I can do all kinds of things. It's not boring to me. I like pickled jalapenos. I put some of those just on top of my rice and beans on a plate. So that's a great meal for me. I cook the rice from scratch and I buy canned beans. I like to buy canned beans because I know dried beans are cheaper. I'm aware of that. I don't have an Instapot or a pressure cooker, and I don't want one. And so to cook them on my stove here, it takes several hours. You have to soak the beans, sort them, pick out any stones or anything, which is not a, big deal. It's just, I like opening a can of beans. They're ready to go. It works for me. So I guess my point is, even, that's not the cheapest way, canned beans. I could buy dried beans, cook them myself, but I don't want to. So I don't. We all make sacrifices or concessions. I'm not necessarily justifying this, but maybe I am. I don't like cooking dried beans. Sometimes I don't get them done, and that is so disappointing to bite into the beans and it's like, ugh, they needed to cook another hour. It's like, no, I'll just buy canned ones, and that works. And I can get a variety. Black beans, chili beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, whatever. So I do that. Okay, I wanted to show you some produce I recently bought at the grocery store. And I bought these strawberries on sale, 2 pounds, 2 containers, 2 pounds each, and they were $2.50 a package. So that's $1.25 a pound, and this is 4 pounds total. I washed some, put them in a lovely bowl. I'm gonna set these in the fridge up close where I see them and just, grab some for a snack or after I have lunch or dinner. Eat a few. I try to buy produce like this because the normal price can be just way too expensive. I refuse to buy like strawberries for $4 a pound or something. I'm not going to do it. I just won't eat strawberries. That's a no-brainer. That's just how I operate. If I really want them, I still won't buy them. It's like I'm not paying $4 a pound for something like this. I'm just a real tightwad, and I don't care. I can eat something else. I can eat apples or bananas or oranges or, another kind of berry, whatever's on sale. That is what I buy. And if I have to, I would buy them, but I don't have to. There's no reason. There's not like I'm going to make a strawberry shortcake or, if I offered to make a cake and take it, I would make sure the ingredients were not cost prohibitive. That's just how I am. I feel like it's a waste of money to pay a lot per pound on something when to me, it's not worth it. That's all it amounts to. So that's how I shop. I wait Wednesday morning, when the new ads come out for the grocery stores. I sit with my coffee and I go through the digital app, look at the new deals or the new savings or whatever they call them, and I click to clip that deal or savings, and I make out a list on paper because it just helps. Some stores I go to, the internet isn't great, so you open your app and you can't use it very well, which is very annoying. So I've learned just make a paper list, write down the sale price so I don't forget to get those items, because I shop the sales first and foremost, and I often don't buy anything that isn't on sale. I usually do, but sometimes I don't, and I like it that way. So that's just an example of how I buy things that are on sale. Even if I want them and they're not on sale, I just do without, and it doesn't bother me. It's not like I feel deprived. I'm okay. Another thing I do to save money on produce type things is to buy minced garlic in a jar instead of buying fresh garlic cloves, because I don't use garlic real often, but I like to have it on hand. And the cloves can shrivel up and be no good. And I know the time has passed. It's probably a month or whatever, but I forget about them sometimes. And so the minced garlic stays forever. I keep the jar in the fridge. I just scoop out a teaspoonful or whatever I need. And I think that saves money in the long run because it doesn't go to waste. I also buy pickled ginger. I made my own sushi for a while, just with the seaweed wrappers, rice, avocado, cucumber, I don't know what else I put in it, but I haven't made it for a long time, but I would use pickled ginger in that. And I love it. It's delicious. And so I have pickled ginger in a jar in my fridge, just like mustard or ketchup. And that's kind of a splurge item, but it lasts forever. It's, how much pickled ginger are you going to use? Not that much at a time. I buy that kind of stuff to have on hand just to make regular meals a little more delicious. I also save my vegetable scraps, like after you take the skin off an onion, and then there's those big thick layers of an onion on the outside. I take those off, and I don't generally cook with them, but I'll put those in a freezer bag along with if I peel potatoes or celery leaves or the ends of celery. It's still edible, it's just kind of tough. Broccoli stalks that are big and thick and not that great, but they're still healthy. They have the vitamins and nutrients in them. So I'll put those in a freezer bag, stick them in the freezer until it's full, and then when I need vegetable stock, I will add water to a pan, put all those vegetable scraps in there, and it could be anything, basically, is still good. It's still fine, we just don't eat it. And boil it, make a vegetable stock to use for soup or for another recipe. And it works great. I do buy vegetable stock. I don't buy chicken or beef stock because I don't eat that much meat. I do eat some, but not very much. But I make my own vegetable stock every once in a while. It takes me a few months to get enough to make a pot of vegetable stock. But that's one less container, can, or carton that I have to buy. So I think that's good. And I wanted to mention that I belong to Costco because of my eyeglasses. I really like their optical department. I wear progressive lenses, and they're really expensive other places I've looked, and I bought my first pair at another place, and it was ridiculous. And these, plus a pair of single vision reading glasses, they're prescription, but it's only single vision. So the progressive lenses and the single vision are less than $300 at Costco, which is really good from what I've seen. And I'm happy, great customer service. And so you have to have a Costco membership to buy the glasses. You can go to their optical department and get a vision test without being a member, from what I understand. But to buy the glasses, you have to be a Costco member. So every once in a while I go to Costco. I'm not a big fan of these bulk, huge items because it's just a lot. And I don't have that much room to store stuff, but I do buy things there because it can be considerably cheaper. Like cans of beans can be less than beans on sale at the store. So I just kind of look and see what's a good deal. I buy pickles there and my natural peanut butter. Those things are generally better prices. And sometimes I buy frozen things that I don't see at the grocery store, or it's like a huge bag and it's about the same price as a small bag at the grocery store. So I go ahead and buy those. I figure this is a ton of meals for me and not that bad of a price once you break it down. So it really varies, but I normally would not shop at Costco, but because of my glasses, I have a membership most years. I only do it when I need glasses, and then it's good for a year. So right now I do have a Costco membership, and I need to go again because I've only been there, I think, once since I renewed my membership about 3 or 4 months ago. So I'll probably go soon and see what I can find. Oh, and toilet paper. Toilet paper at Costco is a good deal. I would recommend that. If you know somebody who has a Costco or Sam's Club membership or something like that, you might want to see if you can tag along, if you don't have one, a membership, and buy some toilet paper there if you want to. I can buy it and it lasts me a long time. So that's a really good deal. I'm sitting in my car at the Costco parking lot waiting for it to open. It's about 9:40 and it opens at 10, so I will head up there in a few minutes and stand in line with the people who want to get in first, which I just happened to be in town and decided I would hit Costco today. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I eat. I have a very simple palate, I think. I like just about everything. I do not eat a lot of meat or eggs. If I think about it, I wouldn't eat any at all. What I do like to eat, and this sounds simple, cheap, but it is, but I really like it. Rice and beans. I love rice and beans. So I think I have really simple tastes. Also, I like pasta, and I use jarred pasta sauce. It's just lovely for me. I don't need to buy tomatoes and make it myself. I don't see the need. And I buy the pasta and the sauce on sale, and I keep it on hand. A box of pasta and a jar of sauce is at least 4 or 5 meals, and it can be as cheap as like $2. $1 for the pasta, $1 for the sauce. It just depends on when I buy it and how much it is. So I do eat very simply. I will try to add in vegetables on both of these, like a salad or some coleslaw or a little salad of tomato and avocado with the rice and beans. There are just so many options. I don't get tired of these things. I can add cheese to the pasta, eat it plain, have some garlic bread with it. I eat, and speaking of bread and pasta and rice, I eat way too many carbs, I'm sure, but I love them. I love them so much. Like a lot of people love meat, I love bread and pasta and rice, potatoes, all that stuff. That's my kind of food. And it's probably why I'm a little overweight, but it's how I eat. I'm not going to change at this point. I try to eat at least 5 fruits and vegetables combined, 5 total, a day. And I think I do it most of the time. So I feel like if I'm eating right, as in the correct types of foods that give me nutrients and that are healthy, then I'm going to eat some other stuff that maybe isn't as healthy, but it works for me. I have a healthy gut. I am healthy in general, and I think diet is important for that, and I don't think it's necessary to spend a fortune to eat well. And your definition of well might be totally different than mine, and that's okay. For me, I like simple foods, but I do spice them up. I love spicy stuff. And not too hot, but I want it to have flavor. So, I think it's about time to head over, get in line at Costco. So I'm home from Costco, and I'll show you a picture here of what I ended up buying. I found a lot of good stuff. So, this blew my budget, but that's okay. I rarely go to Costco, and everything I bought will last a long time. And here's the receipt showing what I spent. Another thing I do is make a beeline at the stores for the marked down items, and this would be bakery items mostly. I don't bake very much for myself because it's too much. If I bake a batch of cookies, it's like, oh, what am I going to do with all these cookies? And I have to end up freezing a bunch because I don't like them. I want them to be fresh. And so they don't stay fresh to me if they're out, you know, even in the fridge or whatever. So I don't bake for myself that often. But I do love sweet things, and I don't have to have cake or cookies or brownies all the time, but occasionally I like that stuff. And I will look at the marked down bakery items. And one of my favorites are these little donuts that they sell in a package, and they're small. They're like 2 bites. And they have cream in the middle. Those are delicious. Oh my gosh. I kind of hate when they're on sale because I go ahead and buy them. But I really like them. And I've decided, as I've gotten older, buy things I really want. Don't just buy, you know, cinnamon rolls that are kind of mass-produced looking things with white icing on it. That's not what I want. They're usually the cheapest, but that's not what I want. So I go ahead and I do splurge on the marked down items that I like. I don't buy bakery items full price. They're too expensive. I can bake something at home a lot cheaper. I don't, so I just do without it. But if I can find something that's, you know, some muffins or something, like chocolate chip muffins or blueberry muffins or just about any kind of muffins, those are good. And I can cut them in half and have half of one and then have the other half tomorrow. That works really well. So I do look at the marked down bakery items, and not every time, but sometimes buy a package of something. I wanted to show you another way I save money in the kitchen. I recently went to the store and I bought some apples. I love apples. I often have like apples, cheese, and crackers as a snack or sometimes as part of a meal. So I take a bag at the store and I fill it with my apples, however many I want to get. And if they're on sale, I get more of apples because they keep. I can put them in the crisper drawer and they'll last a couple months easily. Then I have a nice clean bag, and I save all of these bags because I got it off the roll at the store. I know it's clean. It just had my apples in it. I can reuse it, and I'll show you how I'm going to reuse it. So I'm making pancakes for breakfast, and I've eaten 2 of them, and I have a bunch left over. So I'm going to put them on this plate in the fridge, and instead of getting out saran wrap or something, I just stick the whole plate in this bag, or a bag like it, close it up, and put it in the fridge. Then when I want to eat pancakes for another breakfast, I just pull the plate out, grab a couple, heat them in my air fryer or the toaster or whatever. The point is, I reuse these produce bags all the time. I never throw them away unless they're ripped or something, or dirty, which they seldom are. So that's one way I save money. I buy my apples and other fruit when possible, when it's on sale. Just try to be smart about my purchases. Another way I save money is by using a Keurig coffee maker with the reusable pods. I have some of these, you know, the kind that you can buy at the store, and they're delicious, they're great. But to save money, these are a better deal. You put this guy in, smack it down, it punches a hole in the bottom, and you can't use it again. This one, on the other hand, you can refill it hundreds of times, and I love that. I'd love to hear how you save money in the kitchen, what your tactics are for keeping to a budget. And I didn't mention what I spend, you know, every month in the kitchen on groceries and household items, but it's probably around $150. That's what I had come up with for my budget, my monthly budget video that I did, and I'll put a link to it. It really varies. If I go to Costco, that can blow my budget because, you know, you're buying a lot of something, and so you have to pay more, but, you know, when you break it down, it's a good deal. I don't shop at Costco all the time, but generally if I just go to grocery stores, if I spend $40 or $50 a week, that's a lot because I shop the sales and it's just me. So that also contributes to it being low. And I'm not picky. I just eat what I eat. I don't buy a lot of meat. I buy my fruits and vegetables on sale, or I'll buy frozen vegetables. Some weeks I might spend $50 or $60 when I'm stocking up, and then the next week maybe 20. So seriously, I think about 150 covers it for me. And I know that's cheap, but I really work at it. I use the apps on my phone to clip the deals that will save me money. And I make an effort. It's like a game to me. Life's just a game. And I like playing. I like figuring things out and making my dollars stretch. So let me know how you do your budget for eating and for household items. I didn't include a lot of like cleaning products because they last me a long time. It's not that I don't clean, but I don't use a lot of them. I sometimes just use vinegar and water. It just depends on what I'm doing. I don't need the fanciest new things. Like I talked about, brand names are just brand names. They don't mean anything to me. I'm not loyal. Toothpaste is toothpaste. I just don't worry about that stuff. And I buy all that stuff on sale when I can, and I keep it. I probably have 3 tubes of toothpaste right now. That's just how I shop. So when you get it cheap, and they're name brands, it's Crest or Colgate or whatever, and it just works for me. But I'd love to hear how you do your monthly food budget, household budget for this type of shopping. And I'll see you next time.